on the scenic drive along the shore. Our second to our last day on this great journey. Gray, overcast skies, but there's a little bit of sun shining down on the lake, and out there is one of the big freighters headed into Duluth. Mike's making the shuttle with the bike, so I'm moving along here and hoping, I think we can actually get down to the shore here for a ways too, so looking forward to that. Hard to believe, September 17th, one last day of a long walk. So I thought I should record the people recording us here. We got Sam Cook out here again this morning and his photographer Bob, and two of them keep running ahead. Kind of chilly this morning. What temperature do you think?
I don't know, 50. Somewhere in the early low 50s. Very nice.
But it's a damp.
Oh yeah, it's damp, yeah.
This is a very unusual spot we've come across here on the North Shore heading. We got down onto the shore where the Scenic Highway is still up above us, but we've come across something that's really not very scenic. I had no idea this existed down here. It must have been an old fishing something. Check out the I don't know if you call it anymore, but there's probably not a name for it, but I love their message. It's a nice graphic. This is really disgusting. Nope, it's privately owned still. Barrels in here. And a rusting old fishing boat. No idea. From the shore, from the scenic road drive, you'd have no idea this was back here. Cattails moved back in. And the burnt hulk of dock is concrete. This is a place that's saying help. Still following the shore. Bob, the photographer, went back up onto the road. It was too difficult walking with that big pack camera bag, but Sam is still with us. Boy, it's coming across more and more crud. Here in being overgrown by the pansies and the raspberries. It's kind of like a junkyard, you know? Don't like to see this on the shore of our beautiful lake. Alright, so September 17th, and we're on our way. We crossed the Knife River now on the shore. We think we're going to see Duluth when we go around that next point. That depends on how much haze there is. But we, as you saw earlier, we were joined by Sam Cook and photographer Bob. And Sam's here with me. I wanted to ask him a few questions because even though I got a chance to interview him up in Sibley, that not all of that came through. So I wanted to talk again, just a few questions. And Sam.
Yes.
The lake. How is the lake? Because you came up from Kansas, and so tell me again how you and Phyllis got up to the shores of Lake Superior.
Okay. Well, we'd made a canoe trip to the Boundary Waters from Kansas, and once we did that, we started reading about this area more and read a lot of Sig Olson and other writers about this area, and we just thought before we had a family and settle down, maybe we should just move up here and live up here for a year. And we tried that, and then we didn't want to go back, so we have stayed for 30-some years, 34 years.
And you've been writing for the paper how long?
I've been writing for the Duluth News Tribune for 30 years.
Wow, that's great. In the background now we're hearing the train. Or would that be the...
That's the Scenic excursion train that runs from Duluth to Two Harbors and back.
We were walking near that track for a bit yesterday, but that's a great little train ride.
Yeah, yeah.
People should take that. But the lake itself, that's a big part of living up here too for you.
The lake is a huge presence in all of our lives here, and whether you have a boat that you can get out on it in, or a kayak or canoe or whatever, it's a presence every day when you drive along it to go to work, or drive down the hill and on a 20 below morning and see the mist rising from the lake, the open water. It's many people, when there's a big storm, a big easterly wind, will go down to the Canal Park area and go out until they almost get blown over by the spray and the wind coming in off the lake. Because it's one thing to see the lake, but it's another thing to feel it.
Yeah.
And I think those of us who live here like to feel it as much as we can. And obviously we swim in it and go throw rocks in it and everything else.
Right.
And it's a great place to take the kids when they're young and let them throw rocks.
And when they're grown up even.
And grown up, yeah.
And now here we are on our second to our last day of this great hike, and you're here walking with us again. That walked with us in Sibley, and there was a time where you thought we might not make it.
Well, I didn't ever think you... Well, yeah, I guess I thought there was always a possibility that you might not make it, because I'm your age, and, you know, we're all in pretty decent shape, but you never know what can happen. And it's a long way, and it requires a daily... I didn't question your discipline or your drive to do it, but I remember Colin Fletcher, I think the writer, said, this is morbid, but he said something like, I decided long ago to live as if I was going to live forever and know that I might die before lunch or something. And I wasn't worried about you guys dying, but, you know, things can happen. And I think it's remarkable what you've done, and I think it's an inspiration to many, many people, some of whom you've talked to and some you'll never hear from. But that's a big deal, to get up and walk 15 miles and then go to bed and get up and do it again the next day. I say most people haven't walked 15 miles in a long time, and they haven't done it day after day ever.
I have to agree, it is something to do that. I'd never done it before either, and I didn't even know whether I could do it, but turns out we can.
Turns out you can. I'm really proud of you, and I think many, many people are.
Well, thanks, Sam, and thanks again for all the good articles you've written and staying with us all this way.
We write them because we think people enjoy reading them and want to know what you're up to.
All right, thanks again.